Hi family, welcome to another edition of the Voluptuous Veganista. Today we are going to be making vegan fried rice out of wild rice, and it will be raw. And we are also going to do a cabbage, mushroom, broccoli stir fry to serve with our rice. Before we get started, I would like to send a special shout out to Kevin Wesley. I encourage you to jump on over to www.betheevolution.org, where you will find bomb music, inspirational videos, cool gear, anything that would help you along with your spiritual journey. He is my brother from another mother, an awesome individual, and I will be linking his website in my description box. So with that being said, again, shout out to the Be The Evolution family, and we are going to get started. And if you like this video, if it helps you in some way, I want you to like it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and share. Without you all, there would be no channel. And so I thank each and every one of you for joining me on this delicious vegan journey. So that being said, we are going to get started, and I'm going to show you our ingredients. All right. So the first thing that we are going to do is roast our vegetables for our stir fry, because I want them to have a nice robust flavor. So what I have here is about 2 cups of broccoli pieces. I have about a cup or so of snow peas. I have about 2 to 3 cups of mushrooms, and this is 1 bag of coleslaw mix, which is just cabbage, and we are going to fry it or roast it and then stir fry it instead of putting coleslaw dressing on it. And over here I have burdock root. That's about 1/4 cup of fresh burdock root. Funny story, I usually drink my burdock, dried burdock root in a tea, but I dropped my glass jar and completely ruined my burdock because glass went everywhere. So I still want to get my burdock in, so I am going to eat it instead of drinking it while I wait for my next shipment to come in. So what we are going to do here is I put all of these vegetables on a baking sheet that has been lined with parchment paper, as you can see, and I am just going to drizzle this with some extra virgin olive oil, right? I don't want to put too much, because when we stir fry, we are going to be using a bit of earth balance butter. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and drizzle that with the olive oil. Here I have some spices. Now you can do this one of 2 ways. You can put them on before they roast, or you can do it in the stir fry. So I'm going to opt for a mixture of both, and what I'm going to do is take a pinch of this garlic powder, just about 1 tablespoon on the plate of garlic powder, and I am just going to sprinkle it on my vegetables. I also have here about 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of Tony's Creole seasoning, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and about 1/2 teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt. So now that I have some garlic just sprinkled on my vegetables, I'm going to leave the rest of these seasonings to put on during the stir fry. Now I'm going to throw these in the oven for about 25 minutes. I have my oven preheating on 375, so I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven, and then we are going to get started on our rice. I'm going to set this timer for 25 minutes. and let that go. Now, the next thing that we're going to do, I want to introduce you to this wild rice. Okay, now what I did, okay, I ran the 8 ounces of rice through my food processor, and I scored the rice. I let it run uninterrupted for about 3 minutes, and I let each piece of rice get scored, and the entire thing had a fine coating of black dust on it because wild rice is black when you start out. I'll show it to you. So this is what your wild rice is going to look like before you ever start. It is black in color, as you can see. And like I said, I went ahead and scored it and rinsed it until my water ran clear. And then once I did that, I soaked it in spring water, making sure that I had enough spring water for my rice to triple in volume. So I made sure that the spring water well covered my rice and that the rice had room to expand. Okay, we're going to leave that soaking for a minute. I also have what's going to go in the rice. A half a cup of sweet peas. I use frozen. I have a half a cup of whole kernel corn. Again, I use frozen. And this is a 1/4 cup of fresh carrots. And I grated it and then chopped it lightly. You can chop it much finer than this if you would like. So we're going to set that to the side. And what I have now, I'm going to make a garlic sauce for the rice. So I'm going to start out with a cup of cashews. If you can get raw cashews, go ahead and use raw cashews. Just make sure to soak them 2 to 4 hours ahead of time. But since I can't find raw cashews, I'm just going to add the cup of cashews into my blender jar. I also have a 1/4 of a cup of coconut aminos. Okay, you can use soy, you can use tamari, you can use soy sauce, especially if you use low sodium. It all works. So I'm going to dump that 1/4 cup in there. I have 2 whole cloves of garlic. I'm going to dump that in there. And then I have about 1 3/4 teaspoons of garlic powder, because I want this to be extra garlicky for my sauce. Put that in there. And then here I have just a half a teaspoon of maple syrup. And I'm going to dump that in there. And then I'm just going to let this run. Put the top on there and start it off. I'm going to let that go. Now I can take my damper tool and press down on it. is a nice thick and creamy sauce. Now keep in mind, if you use raw cashews, your color will be a little bit lighter because your cashews won't be roasted. This smells amazing. Okay. I'm going to just leave that sit. And now we are going to work on our rice. So what I'm going to do is drain our bloomed rice, which generally takes about 12 to 18 hours or so. All right, getting every little bit out of the bowl here. And I'm going to put this in a larger bowl. Okay. Make sure that I get all of that in there. Now, what I'm going to do is add in my peas, my corn, and my carrots. I don't know if that got in there before, but I'm mixing it up, and this looks absolutely beautiful. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is add the sauce that I made right off in here. And just go ahead and scoop that out. It's going to be nice and thick and creamy, almost like a peanut butter, like a cashew butter, but with your aminos in it. And you should have about a cup of sauce. Now I know instinct would be to go ahead and put some milk or something in here to help you get the cashew cream out of here, but you don't want to do that because fried rice is typically dry. I'm just going to mix this in, and there is a way to, if you have a food dehydrator, to go ahead and dehydrate this after you mix it all up for about 3 hours. I do not yet have a food dehydrator, so we will not be doing that step. So at this point, we are pretty much done with the rice. Okay, what I am going to do, I don't want to cook it, but I do want to warm it up to edible temperature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the heat off when my vegetables come out of the roast, and I am going to put this on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and I'm just going to sit it in the oven while my vegetables are stir frying. Okay, so this is your mix right here. And like I said, for all intents and purposes, you are done with this part. So we're going to leave that sit, and I will be back as soon as my vegetables roast. Okay, I am back, and my oven is now going off. My vegetables have been roasting for 25 minutes. So I'm going to remove them. Like so. And this is what they look like. If you do not want your vegetables as finely cooked or as completely cooked through, you can reduce the roasting time if you wish. As you can see, I have here 3 tablespoons of Earth Balance melting, and I am going to turn the oven off just like I promised, and I have my rice on a cooking sheet lined with parchment paper, and I'm just going to stick this in the warm oven, not to cook, but just to heat up to temperature while this is roasting off, okay? So, I am now going to add my burdock, broccoli, snow peas, mushrooms, and cabbage. Let's see, here we go. I got burdock, broccoli, snow peas, mushrooms, and cabbage. So I'm going to add that into my wok, which I have on medium. Let's see if we can do this without making a total mess. There we go. And I'm just going to stir fry this. And at this point, remember the rest of the seasonings that I had left over? I'm going to add them now, along with, I have about 2 teaspoons of liquid smoke. So I'm going to add the rest of my seasonings in, and my liquid smoke. You want to be careful with the Tony's seasoning or any Cajun seasoning, because it can tickle your nose, and I'm about to see. Woo! See, just like I said. There we go. I apologize for the crappy camera. Now, you can do this with any vegetables that you want. I just chose snow peas because I saw them, and I love broccoli. But you could use half Brussels sprouts. You could use cauliflower. You could use green beans. You could use any vegetable that you want. You can use angel hair. Just all green cabbage if you would like. It's completely up to you. You can use white mushrooms. You can use baby Bella mushrooms, which is what these are. It's completely up to your taste. Okay? You just want to stir that around. I am just going to let this fry off. Get some of that moisture out that was created by roasting, and I will be right back. Okay, we are almost done, and I taste tested it, and it wasn't quite salty enough for us, so I'm adding about another teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt. Okay, and so I'm going to give that a quick toss. You can, like I said, this is totally adjustable, because this is one of those made up things that there's really no recipe to, although I will try to create one for you all. I just came up with it at the spur of the moment because I wanted something to go with the rice. So this is all done now. And I'm going to just turn this off and let it finish cooking. And let me check. I'm going to let the rice soak up a little more of that heat, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and I have my completed stir fry here. And I am going to take my rice out of the oven where it was not cooking, but instead heating up. Okay, so I have those two things now. I am going to leave you for a second, plate up, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back, all plated up. As you can see, this was a quick, simple, easy meal. As long as you bloom the rice the night before, start the process the night before. And again, that is just throwing it in the food processor for about 3 minutes until it gets coated with a fine dust. It is not going to process all the way. It won't become flour or anything like that. And then rinse it until your water runs clean, and then soak it in spring water until it nearly triples in size. And then the stir fry was just a collection of things that I had a taste for. The cabbage, the broccoli, the snow peas, the mushrooms, and you just toss those together, roast them. Again, the burdock is totally optional. It is up to you. I put it in there because I was missing my burdock tea, and I need that in my life. And I found out a while ago that I could eat it. So I found it fresh at my local Asian market and decided to go ahead and put it into my stir fry. And again, I just roasted the vegetables and then took them out of the oven and roasted them for a few minutes in a little earth balance butter, and put the rest of my seasonings on there, some liquid smoke. I hope that you all enjoyed this tutorial and had as much fun as I did while preparing it. I want to thank you so much for watching. Again, if there's no you, there's no channel. I want to thank each and every one of you all. I appreciate you so much. Again, I encourage you to stop by www.betheevolution.org and visit Kevin Wesley there and pick up some motivational messages, some awesome music, and some cool gear. I will put a link in the description box to his page, and I hope to see you guys over there. Again, if you like this video, if it helped you in some way, go ahead and make sure that you like it, subscribe to the channel, and share. Don't forget to hit the little notification bell so that you are made aware when I post a new video. And as always, family, thank you, and happy cooking and happy eating. Bye, family.